Hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, everyone. This is Keandra. So I am just gonna kind of, didn't mean to do that. Whenever you get in, please do me a favor and give me a heart, give me a thumbs up, let me know that you're here. As people join, I'm not able to see specifically who you are, but once you're here, it would do me a great service to know who you are, to maybe see your face, to know that something is resonating with you. I'm really used to doing things very interactive, and so I know one of the things that's a little limiting about Facebook Lives is that it prevents us from being able to hear other people's voices, right? And that's one of the ways that I love to do lives, love to teach, is with that ability. So if you could do me a favor, is as I'm talking, please, shout me out, shout out a question, whatever it is that you may want to say in the comments. I will be sure to check. Sometimes I do tend to get a little distracted, but I will do my best to make sure that I'm keeping track of the actual comments as well as those of you who are hopping in. So I do see that there's one person here. Welcome to whoever you are. I'm so glad that you are here. First off, I want to say again, just a warm, warm welcome to all of the women who have recently joined the Surrender Society. My heart is just super full. This has only been open since July 25th or 15th or something like that. Not very long, but we're, right now about 75 strong. And whether you were here through invitation of another woman or I invited you, I'm really grateful that you're here. One of the intentions, and I did say it before in a previous video, but I want to reiterate the reason and what was on my heart of why to create this space. At this point, the words self-care, soul care, well-being, all of those words, it's a part of our universal language, right? It is something that we can all agree that we have an idea of what it means. But for a woman who is in purpose, I believe that there is a deeper level of responsibility and a deeper level of practices that need to be around that because we are actually here for a mission and for good things to happen through us. And I believe that all of those things, especially when it comes to success and joy and happiness and thriving, all of those things can exist. And it can also exist for women of color. For one, I am super grateful that this group is diverse. My friends, my family, I come from diversity, and that is something that's really important for me. But when it comes to success and taking care of ourselves and really navigating between all of the different things that we do as women, on top of being, the CEO, being the owner, being the entrepreneur, being the director, wherever it is in the capacity that you work in, we don't always have models of women who are doing it well. And what I mean by well is healthy, happy, with joy, without fibroids, without being overweight, without being mentally foggy, without being, a lack of sleep, all of these different things that tend to plague our communities. And I wanted to be able to provide a space that helped to unpack, to facilitate a lot of the unlearning that we need to do in terms of just our psyche and the things that we believe when it comes to going out and doing these wonderful things in the world. I wanted to be able to create a space, and I have, done that, and to where we can all do and unpack and do that work together, but be amongst each other without shame. I firmly believe that, women professionals in particular, Black and brown women who exist and work in corporate America, we are some of the women who wear the masks the most. Not only are we having to, put on the role of sameness in a lot of the organizations that we exist in and work in, but we sometimes don't really know how to actually remove some of that when we get into other spaces, whether we're showing up as the mom, the sister, the girlfriend, the wife, all of the different things that encompass who we are. And so I just wanted to create a space that allowed us to do that in a space that's safe. My primary expertise is really helping women prioritize themselves and help design, an infrastructure that supports your impact and your income. And so I am just, again, super happy that you are here. Again, also in the title, this is called the Surrendered Society, and it is for women of purpose. And so there is a spiritual component to that. And while it is not necessarily necessary to have a, one specific belief or one specific type of faith, it is definitely all of those things, being able to recognize and identify with the fact that you are also a spiritual being. And so if all of that is good to you, if all that resonates with you, then you are in the right place. So welcome, welcome. So I did get, into it a little bit when I said, self-care and soul care and well-being, all of those words when it comes to what we understand when it comes to taking care of ourselves. It's universal language, right? But since I have been someone who has been on this journey of not only as a student but a teacher for like the last 6 years, I know that there's levels to it. There's levels to this thing, and it keeps getting deeper and deeper and deeper. And so as I've continued to do my work of studying and also sharing and teaching, I've learned that there's about 5 distinctions that separate what well-being is, and just kind of what shapes the practices and the things around it and the intentionality around the self-care and soul care in a different way than how it just exists in, the regular world, if you will. So the first distinction is that you understand that your purpose is settled. It's nothing that you have to chase. It's nothing that you really even have to find. Again, sometimes there's unlearning that needs to happen, but it's something that's already there. You're simply just acknowledging it, you're surrendering to it, you're accepting it, you're agreeing with it, you're agreeing with your unique design. It's nothing that you have to chase. It's something that's already settled. You are created by purpose for purpose. That's what you're here for. And so anything less than you feeling a certain level of significance, or understanding what your unique expression of God is, the path and that journey to getting there, of course, is yours, but we all have it. We all have something that we are uniquely called to do, who we are uniquely called to be, and a divine mission that is able and that is meant to be done through us and through us alone. And so that is the first distinction, is understanding and knowing that that's something that's already settled. The second thing is that there is an interdependency that you have with God, with the divine, with spirit, however it is that you identify with that higher being, that thing that is bigger than you, and that is a part of the big mission that you were here for. It requires checking in, setting practices around getting those check-ins and those downloads to know that you are in alignment. The strategy and the steps and the next thing that you're supposed to do, all of those things can come to us through divine spirit, through God. And again, it's important to have certain practices set up around that so that you can make sure that you're tapped in. That is another distinction of a woman of purpose and what her well-being and self-care would look like, because there's the intention of understanding that the instructions and the strategy is coming from something that's bigger. It is visionary. It's something that you may not be able to see. And so tapping in, getting into those moments of stillness helps you to maybe not always have understanding immediately, but be able to be in a place of trust and have specific instructions. So that is the next distinction. I saw that someone else was here. Please do me a favor again and let me know with the heart, with the thumbs up, just to let me know as you are coming on in. The third distinction is that it is not compartmentalized. I know that when we think of the things and the different activities and practices when it comes to our self-care and our well-being, usually it is completely separate from the way that we show up in other spaces, in our 9 to 5 jobs, as entrepreneurs, as mothers, as wives, as girlfriends, sisters, daughters, all of the different roles, right? Sometimes when we think of what self-care is, we think of it as just a specific activity. But I believe that as a woman of purpose, well-being is something that you embody. It is who you are. And so you're taking it with you wherever you go. You are the atmosphere shifter. And so if there's a place of chaos or a place that is unsettled and unrest, your presence alone can reset that atmosphere and reset the energy of the room, the energy of your office, the energy of, that meeting, the boardroom, wherever it is that you are the tone setter. And so understanding that again, that you're created by purpose for purpose. And so a lot of this work, it's done through you. It's not necessarily outside of you. And it doesn't necessarily have to be only when you're taking a bath or only when you're going to the spa or only when you're on an airplane. It is a piece and a resonance and a vibe and an energy that you embody that is a part of who you are. The fourth is that you understand that you have cycles. As women, not we have to understand that there's seasons and that there's time for everything. Even when it comes to ourselves as being cyclical beings and having to navigate between our menstrual cycles. And, we know what it is when we have good moods and bad moods. We might need a little bit more rest. We might need, a different type of food or meal. All of those things, being able to be tuned into that, it's really important. There's a time for sowing. There's also a time for harvest. And so being able to be in alignment with what is the time? What is it that I'm supposed to be doing right now? And this does tie in a little bit with the previous distinction that I gave, where, there's an intentionality where you're getting those instructions, where you understand and have a better idea of what it is that you are supposed to be doing at a certain time. That is also another major distinction of a woman of purpose and what that well-being looks like. And the fifth and final one is really what ties all of this together is the fact that you are not only a temple of the Holy Spirit, divine, God, again, universe, all the different words or whatever and however you identify with that higher being. You're not only the temple of that, you are the vessel. And so the mission, I can't emphasize this enough, that mission, the strategy, the dismantling of the different paradigms and structures that we are seeing in society right now, that work is being done through us. It's done through us. And so when we recognize that we are co-laborers with God, essentially, there's a different level of responsibility that we have, that it causes us to be good stewards over that which we've been gifted with, that which we've been called to say, and also what is required to keep ourselves in a place of good energy, to keep our mental capacity sharp, to keep our emotional or even just our emotions in check, to be able to set aside time to where we can be enraged, where we can be angry, but then we also can set aside this time to check in and figure out what is it that I need in this moment? What do I need to nourish myself in this moment? Whether that is to forgive, whether that is to have a different outlook or just establish a different mind shift for the environment that I'm going to be in, right? It is so just again encompassing all of those things of truly understanding that you are more than just a person who is walking the earth, that there is a mission that wants to come and is designed to come through your life specifically. And so those are the 5 distinctions and the things that I wanted to share with you to hopefully elevate your idea, your thought process, your mindset around your self-care, your soul care. If you are in a space where you feel like you need additional support, please reach out to me. It is something that I do on the side as a coach, well, not on the side, but in conjunction with my professional career as a consultant and an HR professional. But as a coach, that is my sweet spot, is helping you to reprioritize yourself and creating that support system to where you are able to show up in the different areas of your life for who it is that you need to be, for that divine and unique expression of God to flow through you. So I truly hope that you enjoyed this. Please shout me out, tag me if you are watching this on the replay, so we can continue to have an engaged discussion around this, because again, I don't want this to just be focused on me and my journey and my path, but something that is serving the collective, serving women who are basically in a place where they are working, they're basically multipreneurs, if you will, where they're trying to navigate between doing it all. And let me also preface this, because I forgot to. I don't want anyone who is a part of this community to feel that your purpose is synonymous with entrepreneurship. That actually is a big point. I believe that it is healthy and one of our, again, maybe just a birthright, to have multiple streams of income, but it doesn't mean that entrepreneurship is the thing for everyone. I happen to be an entrepreneur and also have a 9 to 5 job, or, a corporate America job. And it's something that I remember and know that I had to really sit with and accept and own, that there's a uniqueness, and it comes with its own set of struggles, being an entrepreneur, but it is not the only way to be in purpose. There are a lot of women who are in purpose, who work in corporate America, who work in some of these spaces, in education system, or, government, lawyers, all of these different spaces we can exist and still be in purpose, just having a specific assignment at the time. And so I just wanted to also release that feeling, because again, entrepreneurship is not for everyone, but sometimes the language of purpose and finding it and hearing about it and operating in it and taking care of yourself, a lot of times when I hear it, and when I see it, it's in this context of entrepreneurship. And that is not the only place and the only way that you can operate fully in your purpose. And so I just wanted to put that out there. If you're called to be an entrepreneur, by all means, please do it. Please do it. But if you're not, it's okay. You are not any less than, and you are just as significant and have something just as divine that needs to happen through your life. And so, again, I hope that this was a blessing for you, as it was for me to share. Again, I am so honored that you are here. Please, again, let me know in the comments, share a comment, 2 or 3, and let me know some of the other things that you may want to hear about, that you may need some support around, what specifically may have resonated for you. All of those things, please let me know in the comments. Hope you have a blessed evening wherever you may be, and I will catch up with you soon. Take care.